Dr. Sureshwara, whose book got released just now, Sureshwara Ramayana, is an aerospace engineer. He has been involved in the study of the application of Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, and Vedic astrology in modern life. He has given talks around the world, including being the principal speaker on Vedic astrology at the Second Parliament of the World's Religion held in 1993. This is a very significant event. I am sure you will be able to recollect. Swami Vivekananda spoke in the first event in 1893. So in the second one, Dr. Sureshwara was the principal speaker on Vedic astrology. He currently teaches management courses to MBAs at different B schools. He will speak for 15 minutes and introduce the book and its contents to us.
Honorable Justice Venkatachalaya, Honorable Vigilance Director Mr. Muni Krishna, Honorable Mr. Niranjan Babu, and Honorable Suprajarama. And namaskaram to all my brothers and sisters. Ramayana, I think everyone have read that Ramayana, so there's nothing new about it. There are so many books of Ramayana. In the last 30 years, I had an opportunity to read many of them. What I found in Ramayana was that it was basically everybody looked at as a historical story, or some people looked at as a scripture, some people looked at as a value-based story integrated into one book. My Ramayana book was the result of many things. It started about 30 years back when my father, Dr. B.V. Raman, asked me to write a series of articles on Ramayana. And under his guidance, I looked at Ramayana and thought about writing about Rama, Sri Rama, and the various other characters. And I started thinking outside what we today call the classical box, outside the box. So the book that we see today is not the typical Ramayana story. So it doesn't start with the birth of Rama and end with the victory of over Ravana. I have to say the four people responsible for my book are the following. My mother used to tell me Ramayana stories when I was about 5 years old. Particularly, I liked the magic in Ramayana. All the missiles sent by Indrajit was fascinating. Those days, there was no TV, there was no internet, there was no nothing, right? And later on, like I said, my father encouraged me to write on Ramayana. And a number of series of articles were there, about 25, and there was always a desire to publish that for the benefit of many friends and the benefit of many people, because this book has been written with a view to present Ramayana as a value-based book for not only the times of Sri Rama, but for the times of 21st century. In the current time, when the publication was finally determined, I have to give my gratitude to two people. First of all, to my wife, Sumati. Sumati, would you please stand up? Thank you. You know, every article I wrote, she scrutinized, she checked the dots on the I's, she checked the cross on the T's, and reviewed, revised, so how these articles came. And then that was a very laborious pattern, but she was not only my best critic, but she was also my best friend. So just between you and me, the real author is Sumati. Give her a big hand. Then my young friend Niranjan Babu, was persistent that I put this package together and bring out as a book. When he makes up his mind, I'll tell you, his determination is like Lakshmana. It doesn't waver. So finally, because of all these things coming together, I am very glad that we're able to bring out this book, Ramayana, Values Then and Now. One of the things I covered in the book, which I think is very interesting, we are all products of the British education, including me. My early education was in a very good European-based school called Bishop Cotton Boys' School. So, and after that, whenever I read a book on Ramayana, the introduction would be the mythical book Ramayana. The mythical book Ramayana. And then whenever I witnessed a Bharatanatyam dance based on the mythical Ramayana. So I was fascinated by that word. So I looked into the dictionary, and it was a beautiful word that our alien rulers presented us. So if you look at the word mythical in the dictionary, it means fiction, not truth. So, but of course, in our cases, we grew up in family where, Ramayana was used as a scripture, as a religious book, as a text of religion. So we knew it was not a fiction. We knew it was a sacred book. But turning the clock to the 21st century or late 20th century, the young children at home, none of them are exposed to Ramayana. So when parents keep saying, we are going to go to this beautiful Bharatanatyam dance, which gives the fictional story, they wouldn't say fictional story, obviously, mythology, Ramayana. So the first thing in the young kid's mind is, it's Harry Potter 2. So you would see that slowly this information has been twisted to present our scriptures, our religious books, our value-based books into nothing but series of comics. So my idea was to bring that out and point that out to the adults. That's one of them. The value in Ramayana, you see, let's go turn from page 1 to somewhere there where Dasharatha is planning to install Sri Rama as a Yuvaraja. Everybody is happy, everybody is excited, the whole town is excited. Now let's remember this one thing, that Dasharatha was the king of Ayodhya, but the tradition of those times, the kingdom was not his personal property. The kingdom was not a personal property, so he had to take the advice and opinion and acceptance from the people. The people, of course, unanimously said, let Rama be the next king of Ayodhya. So everything was fine, going fine, till Kaikeyi, to use the modern word, threw a curved ball at Dasharatha and demanded that Rama be sent to forest for 14 years and Bharata be made the king of Ayodhya. Now, the value system comes here. Now, when Rama learns that Kaikeyi has been given 2 boons, Dasharatha never, of course, told Rama directly that you should go to the forest and so on. Kaikeyi said, your father said this, your father said this. So Rama, as a faithful son, accepted that and accepted to go to the forest. And the value comes here. The value comes here is, it's not thinking individually. He is thinking of the welfare of the family and the welfare of the state. Why the welfare of the state is, he knows that even if he goes, Bharata will be an ideal king, will be the good king. So he was not thinking just for himself, but he was thinking of the family and the larger picture. So what that application means today for our families today is, our families is sometimes have become self-centered, not necessarily selfish. So they always think of on an individual basis, not on the collective basis for the family. So this is a very important aspect to note, especially when families are breaking up. Everywhere, it's not breaking up just in the so-called Western countries, it is also breaking up in so-called Eastern countries, including India. So that's the aspect I wanted to bring it. And the other one I want to bring is the how you will take your responsibility. When Rama fought Ravana, Rama had, before starting, he had no army. He had zero army. So what he did was he assembled the Vanaras, he gave them designations, he literally trained them, and he became one of the ablest commander-in-chief. This is one aspect that I also have usually discussed in my class in management, where I teach a course called Ramayana and Management. So in this book, you will see a lot of applications, a lot of discussions on various aspects. So you also you put your own input, share the book with your family, study them with all the generations of family. Hopefully, it will help you to apply some of the values seen in Ramayana to your own life. My young nephew, Suprajama, says, it's a gentle reminder, your time is up. So with due regard to that, I will again wish you all a very happy evening. And please take the Ramayana book. Please share the Ramayana book with your family. And I want all the families to be united, not disunited. And thank you again. And thank you, Suprajarama.